Maybe.
We'll
I don't
see.
know what happened. I don't know what just happened. It didn't. We're live, by the way. I just want you guys to know. Somehow the intro music didn't come in, but I don't know what happened. Oh, right. All right.
Did you just get yourself on that one?
No, I did that on purpose. I had to be the one who hit the button to hit, intro. Welcome everybody to the Dad Hat Chronicle Sports Show. We are very professional up in this show.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on tonight. I have no idea. My name is Ed, also known as the Dad Hat. With me, I got my wonderful friends and a special guest. We will introduce him in a second, but we will do our first thing. For guys, this show is brought to you by All Forward Baseball Company. Two things about All Forward Baseball Company, guys. Okay, if you go onto their website and you decide you want to get yourself a shirt, a hat, a hoodie, whatever you want to do, all right, get yourself a couple of those. Actually, as a matter of fact, get all three and use code. What is it, Prospector? What code is it?
I believe the code is Dad Hat.
That is correct. Ooh. And you get yourself 10% off at checkout. So make sure you guys use code Dad Hat. Now, if you are a fan of stickers, like all of us are, right? Oh, yeah. He is running a monthly subscription of all of minor leagues and content creators like myself. I believe also Black Baseball is also on there, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here's the deal, guys. It usually is $4, but if you use code DHC, you'll get $1 off a month. So it'll be, instead of $4, it'll be $3. So just make sure you guys get that going. All right. Let's get going. Mr. Prospector, you're going to be last. I'm just going to start like that today. We're just going to go ahead and just start it off. But what we're going to do is, obviously, as you guys already know, what we do is we're going to talk about the hat that we're wearing, what we're drinking tonight, okay? And then, of course, we're going to start with our special guest, Mr. Floboboyce himself. My man, what hat are you wearing? And if you're drinking anything, what is it that you're drinking?
Well, right now I'm drinking a pink Starburst flavored C4.
Oh, those are good.
They make me feel all tingly on the side.
Oh, man, they're so yummy.
This is a classic Nike 99. Amazing. This is for this season's spring training line. That's not the New Era one. So I figured I'd do something for the boys as they are. I have to get used to Juan Soto being on the squad. So I figured I got it early.
Ex-squad of somebody. He's used to be on somebody else's squad. We won't name his name. A Yankee fan. Yeah. All right. So nice hat right there. I love it. All right.
Oh, maybe I need to be switching some hats up here.
Okay.
This interview is over. No.
Yeah, the show's over. Show's over. Mr. Mayor.
I won't do that to you. We talked about the AL East last time.
Yeah, right. We killed the Yankees. All right. Hey, Phil, what's happening, my man? I know, right? Nice intro, he says. I don't know what happened. All right, but guys, tonight we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and then we are on Twitter for Mr. Donnie. So just want to let you guys know. Mr. Mayor, what are you wearing? What are we drinking, my friend?
Well, I am wearing a couple of Copa identities. The two
I wonder why.
Wichita and the now defunct Copa from Omaha. So the Cazadores de Tormentas.
Look at
and
that.
What I'm drinking is one that I got from Eric Lichtenberg, and it's been in the fridge a while, so I figured I better get it drank. It's from Summit Brewing. It's a Twins Pilsner from Minnesota. So
all right, I like it. I dig it. I like it. We're moving on to Mr. Influencer. What's going on, my friend?
What's going on, fellas? So I am not live from Gallagher Iba Arena tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, I thought you were not going to be in tonight.
Wichita State is playing Oklahoma State in the NIT. They didn't expect Wichita State to even get in the NIT. So some of the players had already gone home for spring break, so they had to scramble to get everybody back, and they haven't even practiced yet, but the game's getting ready to start. But I could have left right after work, got down there in time, but then I would have to come back after the game and would have got back at like 12:30 or 1 in the morning, and then have to be at work by like 6. So I'm like, probably
kind of rough.
So just gonna... too long of a drive. It's less than 2 hours and use speed. So Flobo, that's my wife. So she likes
This is
to
influencer.
Oh, she's literally a Mrs. Influencer.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
I
Oh
thought you
yeah.
were a fan.
well,
Where was that
yeah.
game being played?
Go Pokes, Oklahoma
Oh,
State,
here we
Stillwater,
go again.
Oklahoma.
Here we go.
So anyway, so I got my Kansas Jayhawks hat. So they play Thursday evening at 6:10 against the Arkansas Razorbacks up in Providence. So I got my Jayhawks hat, and then I just have my water as always.
Of course you are. Of course.
My
you
wife's
are.
from Stillwater, so she always says "Go Pokes, Flobo."
Go Pokes.
Every single time.
I'm learning.
Along with the rest of everybody that likes to say go.
And-
Pokes.
Except me and Ed.
Yeah, I'm not. I won't. I'm not doing this.
Is it supposed to be a poke? Is that supposed to be what it is?
I guess.
It's
Is
supposed to be
It's
like
a gun.
Pistol's firing.
Oh,
Pistol's
out
firing.
west.
right. Okay.
I go pew pew. Star Wars.
Tonight it's Go Shocks.
Sir.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
what we do.
Hey.
what we
Hey.
Hey, Flobo's learning all the new signals, the Midwest signals here, man. You ain't gonna see these on the streets of New York or out in LA or anything, man. These are
Yeah,
Midwest
see
signals.
what happens when you put that in New York and see what happens. You know.
Right, exactly. Get my money.
All right.
That was a
Miss.
Flobo
Mr.
can
Producer.
appreciate this. Shock the system.
Oh God.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah, Virgil can appreciate that too.
I definitely appreciate that one.
Oh, here we go. I think this is some wrestling thing. I'm not quite
Yes,
sure.
it
Hey,
sure
hey,
is.
hey. Some
Oh,
wrestling
what
thing.
happened? All right, Mr. Producer, Virgil, what's happening, my friend?
First up, before we begin, shout out to Alabama State when they're playing game. Nice to see HBCU basketball represented. Tonight, I am wearing the Lunaticos hat from Rocket City Copa, and I am drinking another Juicy Bunny from Straight to Ale tonight.
All right, I'll dig it. All right, Mr. Prospector.
What's up, guys? Flobo, thanks for joining us, my man. We're so glad to have you on with us. And tonight, I am wearing the Rome Emperor's batting practice hat for this season.
Oh,
So
wow.
a little bit of a batting practice action.
Listen.
I do love that brand, but it's a Braves affiliate. I'm not sure how I feel. I'm conflicted.
Respect. I get that.
Hey, listen, minor leagues. We talked about this, Flobo,
did,
right?
we did,
Major
but-
leagues is different than
But the
minors.
Braves, man, the Braves.
I feel you, baby. I got you.
Ah.
All right, and what
And
you
then,
drinking?
And tonight, gentlemen, we're bringing back a blast from the past. Flobo,
Here we go.
they always make fun of me for the drinks that I bring in, because a lot of times it's things that like an old 90-year-old man would drink. So
The shoe
tonight we've
fits.
got Gatorade Frost is back, baby.
Oh,
It's back
okay.
tonight,
I thought
and
you
it's
were
always
drinking
like the Glacier Cherry, Flobo. So
Okay, no, I
they
thought
always make
like
fun of
cream
me. They're
sherry
like,
or something.
why? And I'm like, well, I just like it. So
Employee orientation at the Green Jackets today. All right, Phil, get
oh,
it, baby.
nice, Phil.
Uh,
So that's
to-
what we got. And
today-
so, Eddie, what
Look,
about you?
he's been on a Crystal Light kick lately.
he
so
has
we're-
been on a Crystal Light
Crystal
kick.
Light.
Yeah, so
I
you
don't
know,
get it, man.
I guess I'm the geriatric of the group, Flobo. I can't. I don't know what else I can say.
He's about to get his AARP card.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
Hey, listen, it's coming in the mail tomorrow. Okay,
Okay.
It flies like Hogwarts, man. Like you've been selected.
that's right. That's right. Exactly. My owl is going to come tomorrow to drop off my card.
Oh Lord
So-
have mercy. Here we go.
Yeah. So
I am wearing a Suck Puppets, the Dad Hat today, 47 cleanup. This thing is clean. I love the slate color on the hat, man. You cannot go wrong with that. So wearing that today. And then tonight I'm drinking something. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but I am actually drinking, it's called Can All Natural Social Tonic. Okay. It's, hi boy. It says hi boy on it. It is blood orange cardamom. It has 5 milligrams of THC and 10 milligrams of CBD.
what was the name of that again?
CANN.
No, the other part.
Hi boy.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I heard that right.
Is that legal?
Awesome.
It's delicious. It was sold here at my local store. So yes, legal.
Nice.
It's actually legal because it is under a certain amount.
Phil, Donnie will call you like tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll work out something that Augusta's just 45 minutes down the road. So,
I got
yeah.
4 free tickets a month and I can't let guests in the press box. I might have to drive down to Georgia just so I can get in there, man.
I
what's
was going to
up?
say, I'm not that far away either.
All right, couple of announcements, guys. I did tease a couple of things here on social media. But first of all, the first announcement, the DHC bracket is going to happen. All right, it's happening right now. So if you guys are interested, I will be putting here the link here in a minute. It is also the passcode to get in is Dad Hat, just regular lowercase space between Dad and Hat. And then we'll let's play a little March Madness. All right. So Flobo, I believe, it's already part of this whole group again. He is hoping not to finish last this time.
Yeah, no, I got like 14 out of 16. That was a pretty solid run for me.
Hey, there you go. Live Dad Hat Chronicles from SRP Park. Hey, man, Phil, listen, I'm all for that. All right. So the cool announcement that I've been working on for about 6 months on just getting this. Okay, I'm very excited. People may think I'm crazy, but I'm excited about this. If you guys didn't know or would know in the past, I have always been in love with being a radio host, right? To do talk radio and all that stuff. And I've always wanted to do sports radio. Well, as you guys already know, it's very hard to get in that. You got to move to the middle of nowhere, like Montana, to start your career. I'm not doing that. I got a family. Can't do that. So I did the next best thing. I bought an internet radio station. So that's what I did. So officially, corporate media has a radio station. All right. So I'm working on getting everything together. There is a player already ready to go. So I'll put that in here in the chat here in a little bit. But we do have a radio station. In the meantime, what you are going to be hearing is episodes from our different podcasts. Eric hasn't sent me his, but it's cool. Don't worry, but he will. So you will be hearing throughout the day some episodes, right? When we do go live, when we're doing shows, some of our content creators are going to have their own shows if they chose to do that. And then we will have some content for you guys live. Yes, Mr. Phil, Montana may be awesome during the summer, but it is absolutely horrible during the winter. I'm not doing winter again. I'm not doing this snow again. But yeah, I'm very excited. So just wanted to share with the group. It's just because I think it's something cool, right? Listen, who gets to say, hey, I got an internet radio station? I don't know. Not a lot of people. I do. So very excited. So stay tuned for that. I'll show you guys everything. And then it's going to be going through radio.net. I'm seeing where else can go. Even I'm working with trying to put it on Alexa to say, hey, Alexa, play corporate media, and then it'll play. So we'll see how that goes. It's pretty exciting.
Wow. That's dope, man.
I know, right?
Get me an app. Is it going to be an app?
There is most likely. I just got it costs a little extra, man. I gotta let's see how this goes.
Yeah, for real. What doesn't cost extra these days? I mean,
for real, they'll charge you for anything. You know what I mean? All right, Mr. Producer, I know you got the list ready for us.
I do.
Good, because we had today was like the day for the release of way too many new identities. We got Copa galore, which makes me very happy. So, my friend producer, have at it.
I don't want to start with Copa yet.
Okay. Go whatever you do. Go ahead. Do you, boo.
There's something at the NFL I want to discuss first that happened. We need to give a big, huge congratulations to Deshaun Watson getting engaged.
You had to go there, didn't you?
I mean, it just is true love, Ed. Just he's turning his
I'm
life
sure it's true love, right?
100%. Can we also just do another congratulations on the Cleveland Browns acquiring Kenny Pickett? Can we please just give him another round of applause?
Y'all just trying to get. I'm in a good mood. I made an announcement about a radio station, and y'all just trying to piss me off tonight.
Well, I mean, if you're going to put it on a radio station, make sure it's on like a 94.1 or something like that. So you get that 41 in there for all the Browns quarterbacks that they've had since 1999. I mean, so
Flobo, he's trying to work himself into the Dad Hate tournament for next year.
Dad Hate.
I'm making great progress too.
You are making
number
great
one
progress.
seed.
Yeah, he's working on it. Number one overall.
For like the influencer and getting my own region.
Number one
Eric
overall.
was a number one seed. Eric was a number one seed until he wasn't. Like he realized he didn't hate Eric as much as he thought.
No, me and Eric were like this now. See, this is how it goes.
I mean, they're best of friends. It's weird.
Yeah, you're just jealous. Producer, do we have any other NFL news?
Nothing major to report on that side.
Good.
So for minor league baseball, I have to divide it between Copa and non-Copa.
Okay.
So we'll start with Copa, and we'll first go to Wisconsin Timber Rattlers dropping the Graneros de Wisconsin.
Granjeros. Just, I mean, I gotta. I mean,
Just wanted to give it a shot.
good job. But let me look it up. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna share the screen so you guys can see it. It's actually not bad, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It took me a minute to.
It's not. I mean, I'm not. I don't know if I'll be like, oh, I want it. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie, it shows a lot.
So
I
bro,
like the hat.
for real.
Like when I saw the logo at first, I was like, I don't know. But then when I saw the hat and the colorway, I was like, okay, now you got me a little bit.
I want to see if I can find the hat itself, because let me tell you, that hat is it's something. There is a little video. I'm not gonna play it because oh no, that's like they don't have the hats here, but there it is. That's the hat.
Yeah, that's about the best you can do right there.
Mm-hmm. What do we think, team?
I like it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's
trying
not
to
an
decide if I like the one with the striping around the side around it.
I'm out on the stripe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
I
stripe
don't
is
know. I mean, I like the solid one. It's pretty good. I like the color scheme of the purple and the light blue. I just don't know about that stripe across there.
Yeah, I'm out on the stripe. Eric,
A lot of them having stripes, right?
so
Yeah.
Yeah.
The striped one is a snapback, and then the solid one is a fitted.
I got you. Okay, Eric, what'd you think?
So basically, they just took the udder tuggers and just decorated it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what they did.
The shirt that the guy was wearing, I kind of like the color on that shirt, but other than that,
Yeah,
that's
nice.
all right. But other than that, I'm kind of
This is the one I like right here, just for the simple fact that it's 108 stitching.
Yeah, I mean the brand's good, but I don't like the color purple in general.
Why?
Yeah, there's a local in-state school down the road.
Oh, I wouldn't know. It's interesting though, the logo itself, like it's you're out there. You know what I mean? You left that part there.
Yeah.
So
But this way, you don't get just the udders. You get everything else. You get everything else too.
bro, for real. So there's that. All right.
You don't like that, Bobo?
I'm out on it. Maybe because I'm a certain age. From a distance, it looks like the Pokemon Cubone, and I'm like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's supposed to be a cow." Okay, but
It's
Now
a
wait a
cow.
minute. You can't say you're a certain age and then go Pokemon. I mean,
hey,
come on.
Gen
I'm a
1
certain age.
was Gen 1 was
I don't
30
know
years
Pokemon
ago.
at all.
Hey, I was just gonna say Pokemon came out a minute ago.
Yeah, 96. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, producer.
Well, speaking of potential Pokemon, we're now going to go to Canapolis next.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
This one's all right.
I like it.
For me, it's a home run. I think it's the best one that was released for me. But I like character-based logos. That's more my thing. I mean, some people don't. So.
Anybody want to take a shot at trying to say this? Pronounce this one?
Oh no, I've been shamed already.
Is that you actually can get this one? This one is actually pretty easy.
Is this
Isn't
the
it,
ajolotes?
Axolotes?
Ajolotes.
Ajolotes.
Oh, look.
There it is. I am a fan of this one.
I love this one.
That's
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. Eric, I know you like the jersey.
Nah, I'm okay on the colors. I like the colors, but overall, doesn't do much for me.
Okay.
It's okay. We don't have to agree all the time.
No, I mean, like I said, the colors. I like the colors on it, but I mean, I don't. Just kind of hard to even tell what it is.
It's an ajolote.
Which is what?
It's like
An
a little
axolotl.
lizard.
There's a lot of.
An
Yeah.
axolotl.
So, which is what?
It's
It's a little
salamander.
lizard.
You don't know that, bro?
It's a salamander.
I'm with you, bro. I'm
Salamander.
with you. I'm with you.
See, that doesn't.
I
even
like
look
it.
like a
I like
salamander.
this one a lot. This is one when Patrick goes, man, Canapolis is really trying to make me break my. I'm like, no, you stay strong, man. You stay strong. And so,
They'll still have some when it's over, Patrick.
I don't know, man. I don't know. This might sell
They've
pretty
been selling
good.
pretty quick.
This
They've been
is
selling
so
pretty
good.
quickly though.
Yeah.
So, all right,
I mean,
producer, what you
someone will have
think?
it, but
I like that one a lot. I'll probably end up getting that.
The one of my favorites so far is the one that you're wearing, the Lunaticos. It's one of my favorites.
See, I don't like that one either.
I like it a lot.
Other than that.
All right.
Flobo, just so you know, Eric doesn't like the sun either. So it's
Oh,
just
really?
you know.
You're anti-sun?
No, I love the sun. I hate the cold.
Oh, okay. So wait, how does that work then?
You know what?
Patrick just likes to say
I like to
stuff.
mess with him.
Yeah.
Just the annoying
And he
one.
knows why.
Hey, look, I'm with
He
you.
wonders why I don't like him.
I hate the beach. You know what I mean? And I live in LA, so I get it.
Inflation and coming in clutch.
Yeah, there you go.
Next, we have we're going to go over to the Space Cowboys with their Aaron Rodgers hat.
Oh, man, this
Oh,
one,
I get it. I
This
get
is
it.
the worst of.
It's so bad.
man.
I'm not scared by clowns, but this is just creepy.
Well, that's
I'm-
the point.
I'm not a fan of it.
I'm sorry. Am I like in opposite land? Like, this is great. It's a clown with a cowboy hat. And it's a rodeo clown. It makes sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
so
understand
she's-
why you guys don't like this.
So, Patrick, is everyone doing the little ribbon thing now with their copa?
On
It's
the
only
snapbacks.
That's the snapback hat. I think that's a new era style thing.
Right. Like,
this
is
year's hats.
Wichita going to do a Tomb of Vodkas with that little?
It's very. I mean, I don't know that everyone's doing it, but it's a strong possibility they might if they choose to stock
What's
it.
up, Joe? Greetings from Patrick's burner phone in Toronto, Canada. The Canadian Prospector, go Tigers.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
This one screams Westworld to me. I don't know if any of you guys watched Westworld.
Whoa, I love that show.
This
Mrs.
one
Influencer's
screams
got a point.
Westworld right here.
Insane Clown Posse does Texas. Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
I'm scared of. Okay, so
That's a true thing. Holsinger has told me before he does not like clowns.
I'm not a
that's-
fan of this.
That's what
one.
he's getting for his
Leave
birthday.
clowns alone.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yes.
not
But
a.
what I will say though is that I think it's consistent with like what the Space Cowboys have done with a lot of their branding is they're
Yeah.
not trying to go silly, right? I mean they try to keep it very serious with their branding and they want to model themselves as a major league type organization. So I think that goes in a lot of the designs that they choose to go with. Honestly, that everything from their faux back to all of their their main logo, alternate logos, and I think that translates over to the Copa as well. So I'm not surprised they went this way. It's not my personal choice, but that doesn't matter. I mean, it's gonna fly with some people, and I think it's gonna sell. So I think it's consistent with their other branding. So I will give them that.
I'm out.
Yeah, that's not my thing. I don't like the regular logo. I don't like the whole brand of the Space Cowboys, to be honest. I don't know why. It never appealed to me when it came out.
I've told
Is
you
it
that.
is it an Astros thing or is it?
No, it has nothing to do with. Again, like Ed said, I separate the major league parent club from the brand. It just, I don't know. It just did not click with me when it started. None of the stuff they've released, it was really stuck out.
I have
Was
a
it
question.
because of the Skeeters going away?
That was my question.
Sorry.
I don't know. I didn't know much about the Skeeters, to be honest with, until I kind of got into this community. So it's really not that. It's just, it just didn't strike me as a good design or something, a good brand.
You know what? I think I told you guys this. What the Space Cowboys remind me of? Silverhawk. The cartoon Silverhawks. Y'all don't know, do you?
I was thinking Brave Star, but the Silverhawks?
Is that a Puerto Rican cartoon?
You guys never don't remember
Puerto
Silverhawks?
Rico's not a foreign
I think
country.
they had it here.
Whoa. This looks like maximum 80s.
It was so 80s.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
I remember Brave Star, but Silverhawks was like that times
Are you
two.
bringing it up, Ed?
I'm
Or do we need
bringing it up right now.
Oh,
I don't even
based
remember.
on
I
their
don't think-
previous series, Thundercats. That's how
Oh,
old this
well, that
movie
explains
is.
it.
Yeah, okay.
That's
I don't even remember
Silverhawk.
That. Okay.
And there was one that was actually a cowboy who was wearing a cowboy hat and everything.
Silverhawk looks like Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I'm just saying it was big in the 80s, dude. So I'm trying to see. Oh, there it is. Oh, I can't find it.
Well, Mrs. Influencer looks at it from a mom perspective.
Their mascot is nice and stinking cute to boot. I mean, I get it, but it ain't my thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on.
Right, next we'll be going over to Norfolk for the Tides.
Okay. So let's take a look here.
I like the color scheme on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I like too.
Yeah. But while Ed's pulling it up, do you like it better than their previous Copa identity?
What was
their previous one? Because I'm still
It was the Pajaritos. The
Pajaritos de Suerte.
Yeah, Pajaritos de Suerte. Yeah,
The lucky birds.
Yeah.
I like that Pajaritos de Suerte.
It's not coming to mind as far as what it looks like, so I'd have to.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I mean, I like this. I think I probably liked the old Copa better, but that's just me. That's why it's just.
I mean, in a way,
right?
this is reminiscent of what we talked about with the Udder Tuggers. Like they just took the Udder Tuggers and made it like a skeleton, and they kind of did the same thing with this. It's like an X-ray version of their normal logo, a little bit. Yeah. But I like the color scheme.
Yeah, which is a lot of teams are doing that, right? I mean, the Midland did that last year.
Yeah.
With theirs, and now Norfolk's done it, and yeah. So you're right. It is kind of a pattern that we're seeing.
Yeah, I can.
Are you out of this one, or are you out of the Sugar Skull thing? Is that like?
The problem is the Sugar Skull is getting played out.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Everybody's doing the Sugar Skull.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that I remember like in the first few seasons of Copa, every team had a T-shirt with a classic Sugar Skull on it, showing Copa on it with like their team logo on it. So
yeah, which
I mean they went all in with that to start with. So,
but the problem is, no offense to Sugar Skulls, that's not my thing in Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just isn't. Sugar Skulls is not. That's a mostly Central American Mexico thing. So,
but it must sell. I mean, because
it does.
I mean, they wouldn't keep going back to it if they.
The OGs of all Sugar Skulls in minor league is still the mariachis. You know, that's the OG right there.
Yep.
You know, so
yeah.
I'm okay on this one. I'll be honest. I'm okay. I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's like I like it for what it is. I just I also liked the old Copa as well. And if I had to choose between the two,
I'll choose the old one.
I would choose the old one. Yeah. Just because I thought it was a little bit more unique and was sort of a departure.
Yep. Eric, what you think?
Yeah, not a big fan of this one either. Haven't found anything yet that I really like. So
I recently appeared. I recorded an episode for another podcast. They will come out later, you know. And we had this conversation about Copa, right? And my thing is, if you're gonna do Copa, embrace it. Just don't put 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door when it comes to Copa. All right. I mean, embrace it for what it is. And if you're gonna half-ass it, then don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you're gonna go ahead and just put your name in Spanish and then do some kind of Sugar Skull and then just say, hey, congratulations, we have Copa. We just checked the check mark. You know, we just checked the box. Then don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah,
just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to it later. But there's a team where I feel like did that at first. It went all in, but now they haven't changed, and it feels like they're kind of like phoning it in. So like it kind of switched.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I'll ask all of you guys this. I mean, do you think that they're doing it not necessarily to phone it in, but it's just another chance to release a new identity and sell more merch? I mean, that's like it's another stream of income in that way, or is it not purely motivated with that? I'm asking honestly.
I don't want to be Mr. It's a cash grab, but since the Copa rules have been so fluid over the years, it kind of is just a merch. Like it's not really a tournament. It's not really.
It's giving you it's checking the box, right? Like it's giving you bright colors, it's giving you Sugar Skull, it's giving you something in Spanish, and then in this new merch, congratulations, here it is.
Yeah, and it's very Flo, but that's a good point. It's very inconsistent too, and it's fluid in terms of how many times you see it. at different stadiums, right? So some people may do one solitary weekend. Some people may do it every Friday or every, like they'll have it multiple times over a season. So you're right. They are very fluid rules. That's a really good point.
I agree.
Yeah, I wish they would do it more often. Like Columbia's done the chicharrones very well. I mean, it's been consistent from the start.
Love the chicharrones.
All they've done is adjust the color scheme each year a little bit, but it's not, and it's, to me, it's not one of those that's phoning it in. I mean, they really, it fits with like the whole, like the community here. I mean, the whole thing of the chicharrones, the pig, the cuts of pork.
Some pork rind.
It's all Carolina style. And it fits really well, and they've done a great job with it. And I'm glad that they have continued it. The only thing I wish they would do was more than just one weekend. Like they have one weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I keep saying, like you always try to get people out to the ballpark Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That's the hardest day of the weeks to get somebody out there. Do a Taco Tuesday or a Chicharrones every Tuesday, something like that.
Bro.
Just kind of make it a Hispanic themed day.
Have a vendor make
Hopefully
chicharrones right there on the spot for people.
Well,
and
and
sell
that's
them.
one thing they added last year is they actually make them fresh. They actually put them in the oil now at the cart and make them fresh. So that was something they started last year.
I like that.
It's very good. And you can get a pork rind bowl. So you get the chicharrones with pork on top of it and some cheese. Oh man, it's good.
And I need to make it clear too. I don't mean to paint each team with one broad stroke. I mean, it's different. It's different by organization, right? I mean, it's unfair for me to say that it's a cash grab for, this team or that team. I mean, well, I'm just saying it's.
I'll call them. It's okay.
Well, I don't think I can paint everyone with one broad stroke.
No.
I do think there are teams that do it very well and do take it very intentionally.
Yeah.
I think some of the teams too that have changed their brand have maybe tried to go a little more all in than maybe they started with the newer ones. But some of them, I mean, you got some of them that are on their third one. You've got some of them that have two at the same time. And that's kind of strange to me.
The Iron Pigs.
Yeah, it's like, why do you have multiple ones?
The Iron Pigs, they're very specific. There's a reason why they have two. One is for the Puerto Rican culture, and the other one is for the Dominican culture.
Yeah.
So the Mama Juanas is the Dominican, Coquis is Puerto Rican. That's why they're embracing both cultures. That is very heavily in that area. So yeah, I see why they did it there.
Yeah. Well, and then some people have like come in and out of the program too. There are some clubs that have come in and gone out and then come back in and then gone back out again. So it's really interesting to see where it's working and where it's maybe a little bit more challenging.
Correct. All right, Mr. Producer.
All right, next one we are going to Rome for the Emperors.
Interesting one. There we are.
This is one I like. I like penguins. My son loves penguins. He always has. He's 20-something years old. He still loves penguins. And I love the look of this hat here.
I'm trying to find the I think
when I see the hat, it makes me think thank you for visiting the Georgia Aquarium.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
If it wasn't going to be a beluga whale, it was going to be this.
Where is it? I'm trying to find
I actually think I may have a SeaWorld hat that my son got with the killer whale on it. With
For real?
Shamu?
That has a similar look to this.
Shamu.
This looks like such a nonprofit. Like, you're not even wrong.
All right, here. It's on Instagram. I couldn't find it on their Twitter, but it's on Instagram. So here, let me show you guys.
Go to minor league promos. He's got everything.
Or MILB store too. You can always find it there.
Here we go. I'm just grabbing the link real quick here so I can show it to you guys.
But Patrick, you said you liked the one they had, which that was only from 1 year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean
just last year.
Yeah, like, I mean this one's fine. I like the colors and everything that they used, but it's a very it goes for it's Los Pingüinos.
Pingüinos, yeah.
So it's not it is. I guess it's in some ways a departure from their name, but I mean, let's face it, it's not too much of one.
It's not. I mean, they're using the same same penguin.
Yeah.
So
I know why they didn't use the one from last year, because obviously they were Los Duraznos for the peaches, and obviously with the Clingstones coming into Columbus, they're not going to want to use that as their Copa. I can understand why they.
Tell them
Well,
to
they
go
want to
Black
distinguish
Rocks.
themselves. They want to have their own brand, which is, and I think that's probably from the top at DBH. They probably don't want to have brand confusion across their
True.
markets. So that's just a guess. I'm not speaking for DBH, but
Cash Grab Factory.
yeah. But it's, I mean, that would be my reasoning for why they changed, because I mean, this, and I think it was intentional because, I mean, people that I know that used to work at Rome have said that it's, I mean, obviously with any of these, they've been in work for like 18 to 24 months anyway.
Yeah, you got to do 26 months.
With approval through Major League Baseball and everything with that new process. So
Yep.
I think that Duraznos was probably meant to be just a 1-year thing, and this was planned all along.
Yeah, I could see where the Duraznos was probably planned before the name change to the Rome Emperors.
And they just went ahead and rolled it out anyways.
Yeah.
Like Flobo was saying, merch sells, baby.
I'm in.
Yeah.
So, all right. Like next, Mr. Producer.
Next, we'll be going over to Aberdeen, which I think is one they revealed earlier, but I believe we never actually discussed it.
No, you're definitely right. They were the first one way early to announce their name.
Is it on promos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have it down there somewhere.
Formal's got a hat of it somewhere.
Here, give me a second. I can get you.
Is that a flask? What is?
Yeah. Let me see. The Sinceros. I don't see it.
Yeah, that's the one. Sinceros. Increíbles.
Yeah, the Ciceros with the A on the looks like almost like a cowbell.
Increíble. Yeah. That's what it is. I thought it was a flask. I was like, all right, let's go. That's Copenhagen version.
There you go.
More cowbell.
More cowbell.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Oh God, please don't.
This is why they don't let me on the show very often, Flobo.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Same here, man. I hear you.
There it is. I just
I'm the one they
found
put
it.
up with.
All right on this one. I mean, it is very, very Latin right there. Like a Sincero, that is.
It's a large logo.
I like it. That's one of those I like as well. I like the color scheme. I think it's kind of cool with the bat and cowbell.
So, Donnie, are you saying it's increíble?
Wow, look at you.
Very increíble.
Why don't you put this as a logo on a hat?
Yeah.
Timber. I'd almost prefer it, honestly.
No, not timber. Timbre.
Timbre. Okay.
Gas can.
Give it time. That's going to be on a hat soon.
No, I like this. This is my favorite one so far because
really.
And here's the reason why. Because one, it looks like a real team. Like it looks like a team in another country, another land. And two, it's different. It's something that's obviously very rhythmic, but not necessarily like, okay, Latin, here's some sugar skulls. you know
what though? That does seem like a Puerto Rico or Dominican Winter League team.
Yeah.
Right here. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Eric, what do you think of this?
Ooh, okay.
I have no idea. There was a Livy Dunn commercial on, so I'm not sure what we're talking about.
You're a good man. It is all forgiven.
Again, I like the little timbre.
The guy. Timbre.
Yeah, I like that better than the main logo. I don't know. I just, again, kind of go back to what I've talked about here recently. Yellow, I guess I'm not a huge fan of.
Mm-hmm. So
like the bill brim there, I'm just...
Los Sinceros Increíbles de Aberdeen. That is a name.
That's a mouthful there.
Yeah, of Anaheim, California Angels.
Yep, exactly. So, all right, moving on.
All right, so after that we have a refresh and then also a new style of hat. So we'll start with the refresh. We'll be going to Richmond.
Oh yeah, Yep, I'm a fan of this one. I am definitely a massive fan of that logo. I mean, come on now.
Love it.
Absolutely love it.
That's hilarious.
Ardillas voladoras. Okay.
Flying squirrels. Oh, makes sense. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool because as a wrestling fan, if you like a team, they're always like, "Oh, give them the strap." You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, exactly.
These are a good title
Exactly.
run.
He deserves, I was gonna say he deserves a title shot right now. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely getting. We'll try to get this one for sure.
100%.
Yeah, this one it's one of my favorites for sure. It's one of my favorites.
Donnie, to your point earlier about the way Columbia does it, I think Richmond you could say the same thing. They've had the same Copa identity since the beginning, and they've kind of refreshed it and done different things with it. So
Mhm.
They've tweaked it a little bit. They've adjusted the colors a little bit, but not too much.
I got to get back on the wheel of Dad Hat so I can start picking more of these.
oh man,
These
I love those videos. Bring them back.
Copa. My daughter just asked me about them, so
Yeah.
my wife
Well,
not so much.
She deserves to have a good night day. So
Yeah, good
bring
night
'em back.
day. And she will tell you like and subscribe.
That's right. You've trained her well.
She did it all. I didn't train her for anything. All right, Mr. Producer.
In our last Copa talk about, Reno has a new Micheladas hat.
Let's see. Reno Aces. Meh.
Well,
I'm out.
that one's technically not new.
Refresh.
It's a new colorway.
Refresh.
Did you say new colorway? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a new colorway.
What was the colorway last year? I don't know, but it seems
I
very.
think it's actually a newish logo too.
Yeah, it's a new logo. It's not the exact same one. They've done a little update on the logo itself.
Okay. See, it must be very small because it looks just like last year's for me. But maybe I just don't. I'm not detail oriented enough to know the difference. Probably.
And just so you guys know, Norfolk.
Norfolk.
This was their old. This was their old one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Their old Copa.
Yeah. I love that one.
that little hat.
Yeah. We probably, Mr. Producer, did we talk about the Stockton Copa in a previous episode?
We talked about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, the other ones were Stockton, Winston-Salem. We talked about already.
That's right. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that wraps up our Copa stuff. Now let's get to some non-Copa ones. And let's talk about the Jersey Shore Shine Barons.
Ooh.
This one.
This one's good. This one's good.
This one is actually really nice. Where are you guys? They put so much on social media, these guys, that you just don't know where to. There it is. I'm trying to see if there's the hat right there. All right, what do you guys think of that hat?
He looks upset.
It's a little busy. It's hard to figure out what it is at first. I guess it's a complicated design to me.
Well, I like the way that they've used the tail as like a pine tree.
Yeah.
He's
He's holding a bat,
Yeah.
but the bat gets lost.
So
Yeah.
I can see in the hat where you come up with Pine Barren. And this, Mr. Producer, isn't this to celebrate like an anniversary for them?
Yeah, this is the 25th year anniversary.
That's right. The silver.
And this Pine Barrens was one of the
Shine. I'm sorry, I said Pine. My bad.
No. Well, Pine Barrens was one of the picks.
Okay.
That the team name could have been. So this is a play off of Pine Barrens.
Okay.
And by the way, the tree is the actual bat itself. It just gets lost in the tree.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, see right there.
I didn't see the barrel of the bat. Sorry, the bottom of the bat there.
Who designed
Yeah,
this?
to me, they should have the bat go. You should see more of the bat up in there as the trunk. It's lost to me as well. It's just a lot going on in that.
I like the logo.
There's too much detail, actually, to me.
I can see this translating on a hat. I can see the details popping on a hat. So, with like 3D print, with like the 3D embroidery and stuff like that.
I was going to say, it's like they need to do 3D in this, because if not,
Yeah.
it'll just.
Well, they will. I mean, they're going to do like puff embroidery and like that 3D embroidery and stuff like that. And I think it can look nice.
Still same for me. I just guess I haven't found one that I've really liked that's come out today or recently, which Mrs. Influencer's probably glad about, because she knows nothing's going to be showing up to the house. But I mean, that one's fine, I guess, but kind of like Donnie said, it's kind of hard to tell what's even going on. So
Canapolis right now, the Canapolis and the one, what was the one before this one? And then Richmond. Those are my top two. That's, again, the other ones are okay. I'm okay with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm like, ooh, I need to get this hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm like obviously the Emperors. I just said because I like the Penguin. The Richmond one's pretty good, and maybe the Cannonballers. Those are the three out of all of this I think I like the most, and that I would probably get. I don't see, and maybe Norfolk as well, but I don't know. It's not one I have to have, but it's one I may grab at some point.
I do have the old the Pajaritos de Suerte. That one I like that logo.
The only reason I like the Norfolk one is if I get it, we're going to the to the Caribbean, to Belize in July, and that's kind of a cool hat to wear for the beach.
I absolutely support this. While you sleep, I whisper in your ear, the new alternate identities are ugly and over and over. They're ugly. You don't like them.
I hope she doesn't sound like that when she says that to me.
Ed, is that you?
Ed, what the hell are you here? I just went over. From what I do understand, though, is some Copa identities. For example, the Durham Bulls one, they had the Cervezas, which I absolutely loved. That was one of my favorite logos. And then they stopped and then went with the Toros Bravos, which I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? Because it was
the bases was so cool.
Yeah, and this is the Toros Bravos. This is what they did. Like literally, it was this, and I'm like, I'm out on that. You know what I mean? But I guess it just staggers, and then they don't do anything about it afterwards, right? The fans were just like, we're okay, and then, so the Toros Bravos, I was out on that one. Are there so many logos that you're harder to impress? Yeah.
Well, and go to Phil's comment next too. There, I mean, is it too many alternate identities? I mean, you got so many alternates, and now you got so many different copas. I don't. Okay. Go ahead, Phil.
I'm sorry. You got to be hot there, Food and Fit. It's because the answer should be no. Right? My favorite minor league team, my hometown Brooklyn Cyclones, they've always had multiple identities. One for Coney Island, one for Seinfeld. I do feel like, and I'm not trying to blame Diamond because I don't know them, but the designs have a very similar aesthetic, and that has gotten kind of old for me. And I teased it before, but you look at the Silver Kings, like they looked fantastic 10 years ago, and now just look tired. And the ones that are coming after them just feels like stamp, like the Cheladas or the El Humo de Winston-Salem. It just feels like a stamp design from the same school.
See,
so
the Humos de Winston-Salem, I was out on. And I know you guys liked it. I'm like, I'm all right. Hey, welcome back, producer.
No idea what happened there.
You just didn't like Flobo's comment? I mean, Jesus, you didn't have to
leave. I can go, guys. I can go.
I was shaking my head agreeing with him because he's got a good point. Then next, my internet's out.
The thing with me is it doesn't bother me that there are a lot of identities. What bothers me is there's so many different ones coming out in rapid fire succession. And I get
but that was Logovember though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like for weeks now. It's like, have you seen this new one? Have you seen this? Like, it's just constantly something popping out. I mean, and I know we're leading into the season, but It's like, my goodness.
Well, that's what it is. You know,
Overload.
they're leading into the season, but a lot of the times we have to understand that a lot of these logos are very hyper local, right?
Yeah.
So, and they're not really meant for us, the fans of the logo. They're the fans of minor league baseball overall. It's just meant for their community.
And I think Flobo's got a point about that. It can work. I mean, the Cyclones are a great example. I'd say that as many as they have, the Iron Pigs, more often than not, tend to hit when their identities come out. That doesn't mean that there haven't been a few that have been,
Duds.
Yeah, duds are not as good. But I mean, there are teams that do quite a few, and they've probably been more hits than not, because I think there is a demand that people want more merch. I mean, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. It's just there's a lot of people that are always demanding new things. They're like, I wish my team would release new things, and then they respond to what people want. So,
well, it's like the one we talked about weeks ago with the alien potato. I mean, what did that have to do with New Hampshire? I mean, come on. But there was a tie. There was some kind of local tie to that, and I get it. And that goes to the point of the hyper locality of a lot of these logos, which I've learned to just accept that that's what the Iron Pigs are.
Yeah,
most of their stuff is super local, hyper local.
And I think Joe's got a point here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, harder to be the different 120 teams, 360 plus logos. That's a lot of logos, right? Yeah. Because how many was it? 5 that they're allowed, plus their Copa, right? And their home and away. So I mean, you got 8 different, identities that you can play with, right? So it is a lot. I mean, you think about it, that's 142 teams times 8. You know what I mean? So it's a lot. And
Flobo, Eric, and I know I've heard on podcasts that you guys have been on with guests that you guys have had, that, I mean, they talk about from different minor league teams that as soon as the season ends, this is exactly what they're doing. They're trying to think of those new ideas for the next season. If it's a promotion, if it's a new alternate identities, I mean, because they have timelines that they have to meet. Mm-hmm. And so it is a competition in a sense. I mean, not that they're against each other per se, but in a sense you are. I mean, you're trying to show out, and you're getting ideas from other teams. And if it works in that market, you're wanting to test it in your market and see too. So, I mean, it's I call it like R&D. It's what we call it in the business I'm in. It's rip off and duplicate. I mean, that's what you call it. I mean, it's.
I love that that's a perfect way. It's like, it's
I mean, I'd be lying if I said we don't do that. So.
All right. So I think those were all the identities, Mr. Producer, correct?
Those were all the identities, but there's a few other things to talk about.
Shoot me.
But, you're talking about all these teams with all these logos. Be kind of weird if somebody made some kind of Frankenstein jersey out of their logos, like the Madison Mallards did. You guys give me the perfect segue for this.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, actually. Yeah.
That was completely on purpose, because that's what we do here. We're so professional.
So, this was, did you guys see the hat?
I didn't see the hat, but the jersey looks fantastic.
I saw a jersey.
The hat's unbelievable.
I sent that to Patrick.
Yeah,
I mean, Donnie sent it to Patrick. Donnie.
Golly.
Oof. All right, so 25 years.
Did I see? Oh, maybe I did see the hat then. Yeah.
Yeah, Donnie, you sent it to me. Golly.
So here we go. The Frankenstein jersey. It is a jersey.
That's pretty cool. There's a lot going on, but it's pretty cool.
I like this as one of my favorite logos for the Mallards.
Yep.
It is patchwork baseball style.
No, thank you.
No, too much for you?
No, man. That is definitely the guy who wears a t-shirt with a necktie. That's what it looks like. It's straight up, hey, look at me.
That's hilarious. If that's the case, you're definitely gonna hate their hat.
Yeah.
Because it is something to behold. I'm trying to pull it up right now. Let's see if it lets me. It was, that is a hat. That is a hat. Let me see, where is it? It's not the Muscalards. Why is it not coming up? Oh, there it is. The
Doesn't want
25th
to be
anniversary
seen.
collection. All right, here we go. I want to show it to you guys so you guys can see this one. And the hat is $42. So I'm like, bruh.
Sir.
Got to pay for all that stuff on it.
And it's pre-order. That's one side. That's the other side. And then that's the other side.
I feel like it should come with a propeller on top. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
That's a lot of
I wish there was a way where it could just like rotate around like a carousel.
Yep, that's a hat.
I mean, for a one-off 25th anniversary thing, if you're a fan there,
You know Patrick has
I
to
could-
has to buy it now, right?
I would get that. I'm not buying that for me because, I don't live in Madison.
That's not your
I'm
Northwoods League team anyways.
No,
My Northwoods League
still,
team
it's
for the
just one of
season.
those things where, I mean, it'll find its way into Patrick's collection, but his collection is about the history of hats.
Mhm.
So he has to have that in, to curate his collection. But it's not one that I would go buy. Now, if I lived there and I was a fan of that, I'd be all over that. I'd
Yeah.
have a jersey and a hat, and I'd wear it to the game all the time.
But that's not your home team.
Right.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I'm okay about it. So, all right, boys. Producer, talk to me.
All right, so that's it for all the big items. We do have some reveals, some teases that have come up. Chesapeake is revealing something on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Portland's got an alt identity coming out tomorrow.
Portland.
Sea Dogs.
There you go.
I thought the Chesapeake was tomorrow as well. Is it Friday?
It's Friday.
Friday.
Okay.
Chesapeake is Friday.
Gastonia Ghost Peppers are doing something. Also, I'm not sure what that one's about. And Quincy is revealing the new name on the 21st. But there's also some somber news that we need to talk about. That is the Eugene Emeralds.
Yep.
Man, I hope they figure this out and work something out before they have to move.
Yeah, let me put that up. That's sad. So, for all of you that don't know, the Eugene Emeralds pretty much they're pretty much done having conversations or even negotiations with their town. That's it. It's done. It's over. After 4 years of extensive efforts to secure a long-term home in Eugene, the Eugene Emeralds have reached a difficult conclusion. The future of professional baseball in the Emerald Valley is coming to a certain end. The organization has explored multiple options, including a proposed stadium at the Lane County Fairgrounds and a potential renovations to PK Park. While the Fairgrounds projects came close to securing the necessary funding, the final financial components did not materialize. Similarly, a smaller scale expansion of PK Park to meet the Major League Baseball facility requirements was considered, but ultimately did not receive the funding needed to move forward. Recognizing the need for a permanent home, the Emeralds are exploring potential cities to which to relocate. Finding a suitable site, negotiation lease, and completing the construction is a complex process that will take some time. So pretty much what this is saying is we found a way to get out of our deal because Major League Baseball put some stipulations that we need to have a certain level of minor league baseball facilities, and we cannot meet those facilities here in Eugene. That's what I got out of that.
It's crazy. They've been there 70 years and then they can't work something out. I don't get that. I mean, how the community, the leaders there just are like, yeah, we can't work it out.
They play at the don't they play at the Oregon Ducks Park?
Yeah.
They do.
And then from what I understand, they have to set up and take down their merch store every game.
Why? Just have both.
They're not allowed.
See, that's another thing with me. It's like University of Oregon's got unlimited money to know what to do with, and they just don't want to.
Phil
You're
Knight doesn't
muted,
want to.
Patrick. Yeah.
I was gonna thank you. I was gonna say
Feels
that.
better that way.
Anyways, I was gonna say that that Fairgrounds deal was actually pretty close, but then people that lived near the Fairgrounds were worried about we're worried about the noise that would be created by the stadium, and it was kind of that NIMBY principle of not in my backyard. So they were very upset about, and they came out in full force against it, and
Now they're about to lose their team.
it fell apart. Not solely for that reason. There are a lot of things at play. I mean, there's special interest groups, like there always is in these types of things, and there was, about how much would taxpayers have to pay. I'm not getting into politics. I'm just saying that's the issues that were at play. And
Well, you work in this business
I do.
too, so
I mean, in somewhat, and so just knowing the temperature of those types of issues around the country, I mean, it makes it challenging to get some of these types of things done. So it's
Shannon, so would I.
I was gonna say, and
yeah. Oh goodness.
I know I don't get the whole noise thing in our backyard kind of thing. I mean,
Well, apparently the people in the neighborhoods were fairly close, and
You got their fairgrounds, dude. Well, how much noise you're gonna get, dude?
It's not noise. They say noise because that's something you could defend, but the idea
Right.
is having people not from the neighborhood come to the neighborhood, and they go,
Right.
"Oh, the noise!
Right.
I just think of the children." Yeah.
right. I mean, it's a way they can bring their point of contention to
Yeah,
the governmental bodies, and
try to get away with it.
well, yeah. I mean, and then you bring up the financial, like people will bring up numbers. Like, in fact, if you look at Eugene's page, they pointed to a comment that someone made about how the amount of tax revenue that the taxpayers would be charged, saying that it was advertised as higher by outside interest groups than it would actually be. I think they were talking about 100 million and taxpayer funds would have to be collected, and Eugene, the Emeralds, contend that it would be nowhere near that. So take that for what it's worth. But that was another point of contention, because there are opposing groups like tourism groups and some other people that had their own interests at play, and were fighting against the plans. So
Bullshit.
you can form your own opinion about it, and there's plenty of articles that I'm sure you can find
I already did.
there about it. So,
let me run tourism. Virgil already thinks I do for certain cities. So
which
oh my gosh,
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
no, you are not.
I mean,
My
you're
gosh,
not. You really are
it's his-
not.
It's his favorite thing. It's his favorite thing, but
what, to hype up my city? Like, what's wrong with that?
nothing. But
There's nothing
Donnie's
wrong about it.
nothing's wrong with it. Donnie's just on your billboards.
Well, he better get
well,
off.
see, and that's the thing. He doesn't want anybody else hyping up his, especially if you don't live there. He don't want you hyping.
You
up his
can't
city.
hype up some.
I mean, how
something
dare
you've never
you?
Been to before.
How dare you do that? Okay.
Yeah,
Just wait till
how
I'm
dare
never-
you benefit his city, Donnie?
But,
Golly.
but to me, this just means this is going to be just another ballpark that I need to hit before they leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the conclusion you come down to. He's like,
Yeah. I guess I got to go to Eugene.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
Oh,
Miss
God.
Influencer, did you hear that? There's no more hats coming, but there's another trip that he's planning, the 547th trip of the season.
also, not that I looked it up today, but Eugene's about 2.5 hours from Bend, Oregon, that has the last Blockbuster. So I will be having to make a trip over to Bend, Oregon while I'm there.
I cannot hate on that, bro.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool.
That
Are they
last
still
Blockbuster show on, was it Netflix or whatever, was really good. I enjoyed watching that.
Yeah. Do they still do the where you can stay there? Do they still have the
They haven't recently
during
that I'm
COVID.
aware of. I know they've
Yeah.
done
yeah,
the Airbnb before,
Airbnb, yeah.
but I don't know that it's been like recent.
Okay.
Maybe
'Cause-
they'll bring
yeah,
it back
'cause-
again. But we
'Cause
need
that
to.
was awesome.
Hey, well, let's get together with the 6 of us and then some other people, and let's go to the Airbnb at the Blue Wahoo Stadium.
Ooh,
Oh
sir.
man.
Sold.
Done.
done.
Corporate media meetup. They
I was
have
gonna
Blue
say, Flobo, who do you know that would join us for that?
That would be dope.
Because what they
Oh,
get, you get to stay like in the clubhouse, and you can use the batting cages, the fields.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they still. I haven't heard much
How
about
much
it
is it?
recently, but
We can always reach out to Quint and ask. I mean, Quint's pretty accessible.
Producer, would you see if they still do it and how much it runs?
Joe has a good idea.
Go to
2026
Joe.
corporate media meetup up
Ooh.
there.
Portland's in range, so you could go see like the Pickles or the
Yeah.
Hillsboro Hops, although they're getting a new stadium as well.
Mm-hmm. That's one that ended well. Well played, Mrs. Influencer.
Airbnb sucks.
So it is 1,500 a night.
No more
Okay.
Paloozas.
I cannot find if they are still doing it.
That's not.
So we
I
need
mean, it depends
30
on how
people.
many. Is how many can you get, or like how many?
Well, yeah, exactly. How many people can you have for the
Group up
1,500?
to 10 people.
Yeah.
What?
So what's that? 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a double tree rate.
In my head, boys.
Double tree
Oh,
rate,
that'd
yeah.
be scary if she's doing.
If you
Ed's
think
voice
you're
in my
right though, if
ear.
you think about it, that's a hotel room, but this is a hotel room with batting cages and access.
Yeah,
to a
I mean,
field.
I'd pay
Is
150
food
for a hotel.
is food provided? Is what I want to know. Are we
I'll give
we
you
providing
3 yeses
food?
on that answer.
Are we
No.
doing movie night on the big screen?
Well-
You know, the whole now we're because we got to do this. If you're going to do it, you can
Well,
do it right.
Well,
Do some shopping at the merch store.
I think either way. I mean, Donnie always knows a guy anyway, so I mean, we can
We can work
probably
something
just
out.
filter it to him, or I know Flobo's got a Rolodex, that is extensive.
They're all
So,
broke though. I'm not sure how that's gonna be helpful. I know people and they got nothing to help us out with.
We
Yeah.
can do what we can do is a GoFundMe.
There you go.
So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Is that everything?
We'll hold out a curved brim to take money.
just,
you know.
just shake it.
Please, sir, we want some more. So
All right, Mr. Producer, is that everything?
That is all of my minor league baseball talking points.
All right. Well,
Did you
here
have
we go.
something, Patrick?
Nope.
I got a text from Lynn Smith who needs a hat, but she said I'd join Curve Brim at Wahoo's ballpark.
I'm just saying. Isn't the Wahoo's also with the no? That's not. Yeah, the mullets, ain't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What, yeah.
It's cool mullets, yeah.
and two mullets, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
What
all
could it-
about that one. I mean, I
what
have no
could-
hair, but I
yeah.
gotta get a hat with a mullet on it.
Well, we just have to get you the cue balls, and you'll be all set.
All right. Why you have to go there?
Well, because it's shiny.
No,
There's
it
nothing
is
wrong with
shiny. And my trick is done. I'm done with it.
Bald is beautiful. What are you talking about?
Hey man, listen. That's all.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
say. All right, guys, are we ready to do this? So last week, Thursday, we talked about the American League East. We talked about how much the Yankees are losing players left and right. Also, a little note on the Yankees: a certain player has not been signed since being released from the Yankees.
They should re-sign him.
They most certainly should. I
Man,
think he belongs. Verdugo belongs as a Yankee forever. He is a Yankee
can get his-
forever.
He can get
And
his
the no
beard
facial
back.
hair policy definitely needs to stay with him.
Can we
Yeah.
just go on a quick aside for everybody in the chat to know that he looks like the New Orleans Baby Cakes mascot grown up?
Yes. Yes,
He really does.
Damn.
He does. He does. He does.
You should bring up a side by side of them, Ed.
We should make. I gotta make one. Remind me to do
Oh,
that. But
that's
also,
beautiful.
a little. Also, I think the Blue Jays are working on trying to give a proposed new deal to a certain slugger.
Yeah. We'll see if that happens. They've had like 3 years to do it, and they haven't done it. So
And all of a sudden they're getting nervous, right?
yeah. Well, I think that it might be a situation where Boston fans, or maybe even Flobo, maybe rooting for Vlad Jr. I still don't think he's going to sign. I think at this point Vlad, and rightfully so. I still think that Vlad is going to weigh his options at this point. I think he's going to stick with what he said, and he has a right to. I mean, he gave the Blue Jays an exclusive window. They didn't meet his deadline, and so now he gets to play the market.
Mhm.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. All
Yeah, I
right,
mean,
boys.
I don't wish it. It's just I think that's what's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
Don't play in Canada.
All right, boy. Here we go. The National League East.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So these are the standings. The Phillies ended in first, and the Braves. Then your New York Metropolitans, who made a nice little run in the playoffs. They were dead before the end of the season, and all of a sudden they decided to put their big boy pants on and then play some ball.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So the Nets, well, we know who the Nets are, and then we know who the Marlins are. They suck.
Who came up with these talking points, especially the Mets one?
Let's take a look here. Mets, with the addition of Soto, do they have the best lineup? It's a valid question to ask,
No,
I
come
think.
on.
I think it's top
These are supposed to be
five.
debate points, okay?
They're called debate points, bruh.
Yeah.
What are we debating on the Marlins? The Marlins are here too. What are we? There's nothing to debate on that.
No,
There's-
there's
There's debate in the
I was
Marlins.
gonna say.
With the Marlins, for the questions I searched about what other possible questions fans had, like through Reddit, through all that, I found Jack on the Marlins.
Well, Alcantara's back.
there a
Bad-
Yeah,
You
well,
read it?
that was gonna be my talking point. Was will Alcantara actually stick around?
Well,
You know?
but the one question that I wanted to ask is, because obviously the news came out that the Marlins were trying to do a practice squad,
Yeah.
of sorts, and that got axed really quick.
Kaboshed. Yeah.
But here's my counter to this: of all of the teams in Major League Baseball, the Marlins would be the one that I would say, I don't know, maybe give them a shot because they need all the help they can get to actually put an actual viable team there.
I mean, they're the practice squad for everybody else. It makes sense they would have one.
I know this from experience. My team was that at one point.
All I'm saying
The
is,
thing
you
is,
say,
what's happened to the Marlins? The Marlins used to be good. Like,
oh, well, what had happened was they had a general manager in Kim Ing, and she made him with a playoff run. And they said, listen, we're going to bring in somebody above you to be the president of baseball operations. And she said,
Right.
I'm out.
exactly.
Exactly what happened.
So why is Manfred not going after the owner of this team to sell?
Oh, that's a good question, too. I love these questions because Tampa's more critical and the Athletics are more critical. And if you think about stadiums, definitely the Brewers. Those three are way more important, but they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, he does give you some good points there.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to dominate. I'm just saying. I just love NLE's talk. That just...
Well, it's true though. I mean, let's be honest about that, right?
I feel sorry for Florida baseball in general, right? Because you have people that come from all over the country. They have
Right.
their teams. People from Florida are Braves fans. And these two teams are sitting there trying all they can, and no one goes to these games. If you're a Rays fan and seeing the Savannah Bananas sell out in your town, you can't do it yourself. I'll be upset.
Don't get me started.
I mean, they can't even sell out 11,000 seat minor league stadium for opening day. I mean, what the heck?
Wait, they didn't sell it out?
No.
Nope.
They haven't
Oh my
yet.
god,
Nope.
that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
See, this is why I was saying, like everybody was like, "Oh, the deal is done; they're staying." I'm like, don't get ahead of yourself. Don't
Well,
get
and
ahead
the
of
thing-
yourself.
And the story you always hear with the Rays, and it is a good point, is a lot of times they talk about with night games, it's so hard because that traffic in Tampa St. Pete is so brutal that you can't get to a game on time. But I don't think that's the only reason. That's been a convenient, that's been an excuse, and I understand it to a point. But when you're in a different place and you're still not able to sell out 11,000, that tells me that there's other problems.
Speaking of getting ahead of yourself, you're on the AL Central.
I don't know
go back
what
one.
happened there.
There you go.
I don't want to hear it because I live in the city with a team with the largest attendance, and it takes 45 minutes to get in from where I live to downtown to see a Dodgers game, and people go because the product is good. I think, and I say this also as a Met fan because the Mets are the largest team with the worst attendance at 18th. It's people are so afraid to watch a team lose, they rather just not go, and that's what it is. Let's be talk. You can talk about the price of tickets and food and beer. At Dodger Stadium, it's $1.45 an ounce for alcohol, and people still show up because the Dodgers win. And so you have these two teams that just been feudal. Or the Marlins case, you win and you dismantle the teams both times. It's like I'm not going to go support that.
Yeah.
Or they even make a playoff appearance and then they do a fire sale.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. Like the two World Series teams fire sale, and then it's like, oh, we saw a little modicum of success, and then it's like, okay, rebuild.
Well, somebody should talk to the Pirates then, because they've been rebuilding since, Clemente left.
Since Cam Bonifay and Dave Littlefield, yeah, I know.
Jesus. I mean, it's unreal with
Yeah.
that team. Anyways, guys, I want to know from each and one of you, do you agree? How do you see this division ending? Do we keep the Marlins in last place, or do we keep the Nationals in below the Marlins? How, in your opinion, and I want to know from each of you, how do you guys feel about this division compared to how we felt about the other division.
Well, I'll jump in. I think the bottom two are pretty much cemented right there for now. I haven't seen anything from the Nats that's going to
Mm-hmm.
jump them up into the top three
Mm.
of this division at all. I'm not really sure. I mean, the Phillies have always been kind of one of those things. Like they don't seem to do a whole lot of new stuff. They don't really make a lot of changes, and they still kind of find a way to get up there in the top. Braves. I mean, I think the Braves are going to be better if they can stay healthy. That's been their biggest problem the last 2 years.
Yeah, with Acuna.
And then the Mets. I mean, the Mets. I don't know that Soto's the answer. I don't think he's that great. I mean, I'm actually glad we didn't spend the money to keep him on the Yankees. He's a defensive liability in my opinion. But I mean, he's a bat. But
get him, Flobo.
Again,
Get him.
Same with. But I look at Soto's bat like I look at Stanton's bat. Like I can do without 40 home runs. Okay, because that's all I'm going to really get. I defensively, you give me nothing. So, I mean, if I had to just, we're not at the point of putting everything in here, but I think the Phillies, Braves, and Mets are going to switch places a little bit. They're all going to have their shot at it, but Nats and Marlins are pretty much the bottom two to me.
Okay. All right, you're the Mets fan, Lobo. That's what I say you.
Yeah,
I needed to fire him up a little bit.
I know.
Well, here's the ironic thing. Soto is one of the few guys in baseball that rubs me the wrong way. So I was torn all off season because I know whoever was going to sign Soto was going to be overpaying. And I know the Mets got the contract, but the Red Sox and the Yankees put some money up. So let's not think like the Mets rolled in like he was like this Brody Van Wagenen years and started throwing money around. Yes, he has defensive liabilities, but he's still the only guy who showed up for the Yankees in the last World Series. I have never seen a team just forgot how to play baseball where it counted the most. So I do think the team is a lot better in some ways. Pitching is still going to be a question mark. I would love to defend it and say, well, reclamation projects like Frankie Montas, who's injured, or Sean Manai, who's back from injury. But let's be real, until we see that in May and June is going to be a big thing. But to your point, the Nats have youth. I think they may be in finishing third, maybe, but the Marlins aren't moving anyway. The Phillies, as good as they are, hadn't done any major changes.
Haven't done anything.
And they looked tired last year, so I don't know what their strategy was. I'm not wishing for their downfall, kind of am. But I do feel like the big X factors is, can the Mets maintain their pitching? Can the Braves stay healthy? And that may be your top two of that division.
I can see that.
And I'm going to throw in a little plug for the Nationals. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be world beaters this year, but I mean, they got, between like James Wood and Dylan Cruz coming in. I mean, they've got
Stone Garrett.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got a couple young guys that could, that can turn them into a proper team. I mean, I know it takes more than just one or two guys, but I mean, they've got a competent pitching staff to me. And
I was going to ask, what's their pitching?
Dude, that was my same question.
He said they're competent, but I don't know who the.
Well, like Mackenzie
I don't know
Gore,
any of them. That's the problem. I don't know any of the
Mackenzie
pitchers.
Gore, yeah.
Yeah, like Mackenzie Gore comes to mind. I don't know all of them. I'm trying to remember.
So can we say the Nats this year might be kind of like the Orioles were last year, just a young, hungry team that you don't really know who they are yet? But
Absolutely.
make a run.
I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be like winning the division or anything. I don't mean to suggest that. I think they're a team on the rise is what I think I'm trying to say. That has a chance to be a team on the rise. They've gotten a lot of prospects from deals that are starting to come through. I mean, they have some guys from the Juan Soto deal. They've got guys from other deals, and they've drafted. They've had a couple of high draft picks that have really panned out well so far. So we'll see. I mean, but I think they're a team that can make a little bit of noise, but we'll see what happens.
On the Black Baseball Mixtape, we're kind of rooting for them because they have the most active black players on a single roster, 9 African Americans.
Yeah.
So we're like, we'll go over the Black Nats, y'all.
I think they're going to be a fun team to watch. I think they just have a lot of guys that I love the way they play the game, and I just think they're a team to watch out for. And I hope that DC supports them.
All I'm saying is that listen, and this is something none of you have said about this, and then it has been brought up multiple times on social media. Is if Walgreens does not become the sponsor for the Nationals, I don't know what we're doing.
It does seem like a match made in heaven, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
I feel CVS should troll everybody.
Oh my God! Oh, dude.
That would be even better.
Dude,
That would be
they-
even better.
They need to rename that they need the naming rights to the stadium like
So-
Progressive is in Cleveland. It needs to
Oh,
be
CVS,
Walgreens
CVS
Stadium,
Field at
everything
Nationals
Walgreens.
Park.
So, do you guys know that the CVS started and then Walgreens, they were husband and wife.
What?
Wait, really?
Yeah. Yes. And so she divorced him, took half the money, and then just out of spite decided to start the other one.
Damn. I like spite businesses, but that's
Yeah,
terrible.
well, I was gonna say that's
That's
very
not a
similar
business.
that's very similar to like the Adidas Puma thing.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
brothers. They were
Brothers.
brothers.
Lamborghini, yeah.
Yeah.
Nazi brothers, but they were brothers.
Yes.
I mean, it was a German company back then, yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was.
Companies. But yeah, same thing. It's like out of spite, then they're like, done, So there you go. Hello, it's just because it's the more you know. What, Eric, talk to me.
Yeah, we haven't really said a whole lot about the Phillies.
Because they haven't done anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Alec Boehm, people were talking about him possibly going somewhere else, but I mean, he's been playing for them in spring training, so I think he has another year. So maybe next year he might do something. But I mean, they've been pretty good the last couple years. What, World Series 2 years ago, and was it NLDS last year?
No, they.
NLDS, they lost to the Mets.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost
So-
the Mets.
But yeah, that's that. Just like everybody else has been saying, it's dependent on how healthy the Braves can be.
Mhm.
But then, Strider? Didn't he go to? Or no, I'm sorry, Max Fried. Didn't he go to the Yankees?
Mhm.
Yeah.
He did.
They lost him. You got Strider, but and then Virgil? What'd you say is Acuna supposed to be back in May?
May.
So I mean, obviously that's not too far out into the season, but I don't think they're gonna be. I don't think they'll fall apart that quickly.
Yeah, is Acuna back in May to like start rehab or back on a lineup in May? Phillies, Aaron Nola, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
So the articles I've read say back in the lineup.
In May. Because I was going to say, it's like I said, if you're back in May, you're still not going to be back until like maybe in June, because you got to go through rehab. You got to go through, your minor league assignment and all that. So it's going to take you a while to get back to speed.
They're probably going to use April to go through the minor leagues and stuff to get him ready, just
I'm
to
a-
kind of give him a little like extended spring training.
So
And by the way, I'm a poor man's Virgil Brooks here, but I just looked up the major league the signings for the Phillies. They signed Max Kepler to a 1-year, $10 million deal. They signed former Blue Jay Jordan Romano to a 1-year, $8.5 million deal, and then they signed starting relief pitcher Joe Ross to 1 year, $4 million. So they spent $22.5 million in the offseason.
who is the general manager for the Phillies?
Dave Dombrowski.
Which surprises me that they have not gone out and spent like he did when he was with the Tigers.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to try to stand pat and hope that everybody else doesn't rise up a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you guys have said,
They might-
they didn't really lose anyone of note other than maybe Jeff Hoffman in the bullpen. That to me was probably their biggest loss. But
Yeah.
everybody else, they've pretty much stayed they've lost a couple pieces, but nothing really major. I'd say Jeff Hoffman was probably the biggest piece. But that's
See, the thing is, with a team like that, you're a couple of injuries away from just falling off the table, because you got older guys, and you lose one or two guys, at a critical time.
Yeah.
That's going to doom them.
One thing I read is that they're thinking of tinkering with the lineup, and they're like not going to have Kyle Schwarber batting leadoff. They're thinking of like switching that around. I don't know if that's ultimately going to happen, but maybe putting Trey Turner at leadoff, and then putting Schwarber deep, down the lineup a little bit more. I don't know what that's going to do, but it'll be interesting to see how if they tinker with the lineup, because the last several years they've been playing with Schwarber, batting leadoff, which has been interesting. But it's in certain games it works. But we know with him, he's pretty much an all or nothing guy. It's a home run or it's a strikeout. So it's a Schwarber for a reason. But it's going to be interesting. And then the Braves, it's going to come down to injuries again. I mean, I think they're thin too. I mean, I think they're a couple injuries away from struggling as well. And
Yeah.
I think that with the Mets, there are other good pieces there, beyond just Soto. I mean, I think the Mets have some good pieces, and they have a couple pieces in their system too that they've done since they've been rebuilding. With when they flipped Scherzer and they flipped Verlander, they got some good pieces back because of Cohen's willingness to take on salary. So, or to pay some of that. And Flobo, I don't know if you have any comments on that, but like Acuna in the system is someone that I think could pay dividends, if not this season. Maybe Luis Angel Acuna, by the way, and that is what I mean. But just want to know what your thoughts might be on that.
I think that's the best thing about having Stephen Cohen. I mean, they talk about the pitching lab and the Metropolitan Park and all the things, but being able to pay money to cut bait is something that franchise has never done. I mean, baseball fans still make fun of Bobby Bonilla Day, even though Griffey got more money from the Reds because of just incompetence. And so, yeah, you got Ryan Clifford in that system. You see Jet Williams doing this thing also in there. And plus, when someone goes down, like a Jeff McNeil, who I think should have been moved last year, that's besides the point. You have second base options like Luis Angel Acuna. I mean, they brought in Nick Madrigal to fill in for Jose Iglesias, and Madrigal goes down for the year, and they haven't missed a beat. Haven't been the best spring training record, but they're finding ways to plug things up. So
I don't pay attention to spring training records, to be honest with you.
You shouldn't. But we go back to the other teams in the NL East. Here's the question I have, though. It's like, I like the Braves. I mean, they have a lot of these team-friendly deals, but I worry about their prospect. Who's their next man up if Matt Olson goes down, if Arcia says, I'm going to have a 24 season again? That's my biggest concern.
As someone who goes to Gwinnett Stripers games, there's not much.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
And that's the issue that you run into, like you were saying with the Philadelphia Phillies, right? Their big bats go down. Who's going to replace them? You know what I mean? They run into that issue that the Mets are going to be running into. It's like, all right, who goes down? I mean, yeah, the Braves. I'm sorry, but he goes down. Who's gonna take over now?
Well, I mean, they've already had to dip into that. They already had to bring up their top prospect. Drake Baldwin is probably going to be the opening day starter at catcher for them because Sean Murphy can't stay healthy. So,
the Mets also lost a catcher as well.
You what?
Alvarez broke his the Mike Trout hamate bone. So he's out for 2 months.
Yeah, but so the Braves that like even had some of their prospects that they brought up straight from AA to the majors.
That's where most of the prospects the Braves have, or they're at, like Rome and
correct.
It was
Augusta, Rome,
Rome, and
Columbus.
Now Columbus, yeah,
but there's still not much. I'm going to be honest with you; it's still a thin system.
It's thin. It's very thin.
Yeah, for the Braves have been consistently one of the worst 5 farm teams in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
They sold everything. That's why.
Like if you watch the Stripers, it's a lot of like minor league journeymen that have been filling the AAA roster, and that's nothing against them. I mean, I appreciate having a team to watch, but you're not watching. It's not like the days where you were watching Acuna and Albies come through, and Austin Riley and all the guys that you're seeing in Atlanta now. You're seeing guys that are like 7-year minor league free agents, or guys that, I watched them. Like I watched Ryan Goins, who used to be a Blue Jay, like playing in Gwinnett. And I'm like, what am I watching here?
You have David Fletcher as a starting pitcher.
You what?
You have David Fletcher as a starting pitcher
we also have Craig Kimbrell coming up. So
right.
We get Craig Kimbrell for at least a couple weeks.
So that's what I get to look forward to watching.
Well, no, he'll be in Atlanta by then, presumably.
Well, I'll be there as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, like wishing him the best of health, hoping he's there. But yeah. But you shouldn't fret. You get to see me, Eric.
Anyway,
I'm
Donnie.
looking at
Anyways,
I did to see Donnie
during that trip now. So.
Hey, I'm looking at the Stripers lineup.
Yeah,
What they have, their staff.
yeah. Ouch.
Did you
Right?
did you type in the Stripers lineup? Hopefully,
Yeah, I did.
just
Stripers.
making sure.
That's
Vipers. Yeah, yeah,
it's rough.
yeah. It's ouch, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jesus. Sandy De Leon is
Yeah.
on your staff.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus.
I've never said that they listen.
Bro,
AAA
he was
baseball-
born in 1989.
Bro, I know. We had they had Sean Kazmar Jr. too, who was old enough to be some of the prospects' dad. He Sean Kazmar Jr. It took him 12 years to make his major league
God.
debut.
They're like,
It's never
please
a
come
good-
to games. We'll give you a Copa hat, please.
That's
Okay,
right.
Please.
Yeah,
It's never
Yeah.
a good time when you look at our minor league roster and you go, "Oh, that's where he's at now."
Right.
Yeah.
You got
The-
Angel
yeah.
De Los Santos on your roster.
yeah.
Hey, we signed Jackie Bradley Jr. last season, so I can't complain.
Oh, hey, you're right.
Hey, listen. Every once in a while, there's one that comes through, and you're like, oh wow. Not so much because they're a great player now, but you just have that nostalgia of what they used to be.
I'm just
so-
not used to seeing 1980s and low 90s
Yeah.
as birth year on AAA staff.
Okay, calm down. Those are very recent years to Donnie. Okay, those are, so.
Oh,
So
my God.
let's be.
I was in
let's be
college
specific
when
here.
that kid was married. I was in college when that guy was born.
And see, he makes my
I
point.
got
for
married
me.
right after that.
Yeah, and see, he makes my point for me.
Oh my God!
No,
You know,
no.
guys, the one that
We love you, Donnie.
the one team that we haven't really talked about, and I mean, for obvious reasons, is the Marlins.
Well,
I mean, we haven't said anything about the Marlins, and you know,
I can say something. They moved Jake Berger.
Yeah, the
shipped
biggest
him-
transaction was them selling.
Yeah.
They're back to you, Dad Hat.
Cal Quantrill is with the Marlins.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Well, I think wasn't our story from previous episodes, wasn't it? We were trying to figure out when they were going to sign someone. When management said we are going to be very active in the free agent market at the start
And they
of the
never did
offseason.
anything.
And then
Right.
we kept. It was almost like the Doug Gottlieb. It was almost like the Doug Gottlieb watch. Waiting for a win. We were waiting for the Marlins to actually sign somebody.
I just
Who
think
do they
the
land?
person-
Eric Wackerman.
There we go. There it is. And it was just like a home run signing from there. Oh wait.
An infielder. Wow. Okay, guys, I don't see a lot of positives on this Marlins roster.
Yeah. Well, so, in the words of the great Jim Mora for the Marlins, it's like playoffs. I just want to win a game.
I don't understand. Like, I guess to a point where you wonder, like, teams like this or Colorado, is it just like, hey, let's have something fun to do in town, or do you really want to win some games?
But here's the problem:
Right.
It's yay,
going
revenue
to a
sharing.
Marlins park is absolutely a nightmare. It is a nightmare to get to that ballpark because this is the middle of residential. There's nothing in it. You know what I mean? Like all these ballparks now, what do they have? They have an entertainment area, right? So you got bars, you got restaurants and all that. The Atlanta Braves, that's what they did when they moved, right? The Miami Marlins, you go, it is in the middle of residential. You're like, oh, let's go out for a drink. Let's lock our doors and get out.
I look at the Dodgers, man. They're on a hill surrounded by a parking lot. People still show up. Give me a good product and they'll show up.
They have it. They won in 97, by the way. I still remember.
Yeah.
That's when Pokemon came out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In this game, it would be like if you build it. In this case, a good team, they will come.
Entertainment. God, give them something.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Flobo. I'm sorry.
I don't want to cut you off, man. That's
No,
okay.
no. I talk. God knows
He
I
talks
talk
a lot.
about
Let him out.
please.
Go ahead.
Please go
As
ahead.
much as Jazz Chisholm has basically made himself work on the Yankees squad, and I give him all the credit in the world. 'Cause I was worried that he would totally have to be a different person. I think a lot of what made Miami cool with Jazz, they had this kind of like baseball, carnival, WBC, whatever you want to vibe that could have been a destination thing to pull in fans. But it's so sad because I subscribe to all the teams where they just say, hey, guys, the Phillies are in town. Come see the Phillies against the Marlins. Hey, the
Right.
Mets are in town. Come see the Mets against the Marlins. That's when you know you've lost your entire community, you know?
Yeah. And then they raise the prices because the Yankees are in town and things like that. So, I mean, I want to believe in the Marlins. I like their logo. I like, everything that there is this very Miami Vice, and then you're like, all right, I got to find a one positive. No, there's just really.
I can tell you some positives here. Look, here's the acquisitions over the offseason. Kyle Quantrill, Eric Wagaman, and Matt Mervis. And here's what they got rid of. Jesus Luzardo and Jake Berger. There's your positives.
That's former trash panda, Eric Wagaman.
By the way, Kyle Quantrill, who was traded and sent off to Colorado, for God's sakes. So there's that. I feel bad.
Some
for
organizations are just poorly run, and then nothing gets done about it.
Well, with the Marlins, it's ownership. It starts right at the top. Ownership.
Yeah.
So. I have a question. I don't want to hijack the show, but what's worse for a fan base? A team that just doesn't care, like the Athletics or the Marlins, or a team that gets so close and they still drop the ball, like Seattle? Because I feel like you're getting many different flavors of futility nowadays. Yeah. And it ticks me off.
No, it's a really good question because, Seattle's a great example. I mean, if you felt the temperature of that team, and they've had some, relatively decent teams recently, but they're not. Jerry DiPoto keeps them at a certain level, right? I mean, and Seattle fans that I know, at least, I don't know about the rest of you, but they're frustrated and they feel like they have a ceiling, and it's almost like a created ceiling. And Jerry DiPoto is like, I don't want us to be any more than a 90-win team, but we're not going to take that extra step to go to the World Series. They don't feel like the team is committed.
Because so they don't Seattle need fans, to.
Yeah. Well, because Seattle fans historically, I've always found are very passionate, about their teams, but Mariners fans are really feeling that their luck is being pressed.
They don't need to go to a World Series because they're still a cash cow for ownership. They're still going to make money. They're going to entice you just enough, just like Cleveland.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I don't speak for you guys on this, but I know a lot of Mariners fans that are really fed up with how management is handling the Mariners organization at the moment.
I get it. Eric, talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be tougher if you have a team that's, like Patrick was saying, right there with 90-win season versus a team who's just not competitive at all, like the Marlins or the Rockies.
But let's be honest.
Well, you're a Royals fan, so how do you view the Royals? Because the Royals seem to kind of ebb and flow a little bit. They kind of spend money, but they don't.
Well, they hadn't until this past year.
They hadn't until since they won the World Series. Really,
they gave Bobby a big contract, and then they brought in Lugo, and they got Reagan's a couple seasons ago. I believe he was with Texas.
Renfroe as well.
And Renfroe. So, and then I don't know how to feel at this point, just because I know he's had a pretty good spring, but we traded Brady Singer for Jonathan India. Now, India's been killing it. They're going to probably have him lead off and then have Bobby behind him at the 2-hole to protect him, and then Vinny and Salvi. So, I mean, if we can, I think that was a big problem with the Royals last year is the leadoff. We didn't really have a good leadoff because they tried Michael Garcia for a little bit. And so if India is going to be a good leadoff hitter, he's been hitting some home runs in spring, but if he can, even if he doesn't hit home runs, if he can get on base, however he needs to, they're not going to be able to pitch around him. So he would be able to, cause if they pitch around India, I mean, then you're going right into Bobby. So Donnie, just to your question, I think that, they didn't really do much until recently because John Sherman took over within the last 2 or 3 years, but with the Glass family, they never really spent much at all. So,
but did you see after the World Series? Did you feel there was a process of rebuild and an upward progression, or was it just kind of like blah until the last 2 or 3 years?
Good question.
What is he, an ESPN analyst here?
No, that's a good question, though.
It's a great question.
You know how to answer that?
Well, I think it's a great question.
Well, it's the same with the Guardians.
Well, to the point we were just talking about, you have all these teams, like we just said with Seattle and all these other teams. We don't have. I mean, I'm a Yankees fan. The Yankees spend money. They spend money. They spend money. they don't always spend it wisely. You're with a team that you had success, you won a World Series, and then for the last 10 years, it's like, well, what have they been doing? Have they been on a process to get back to that? Or are they like the Marlins or Rockies that just like, whatever, we're just going to play?
Well, no, I mean, they're eventually now getting back to it, but they've had a ton of top picks, and then they finally found one with Bobby that's actually going to work out because they had, Hosmer and Gordon and Moustakis and Ed punching his mic. And
Yeah, because I'm mad at the Royals. Why are we talking about the stupid Royals?
I thought you were mad at the question that Mrs. Influencer asked.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not happy about that question.
Oh man. Oh wait, this question?
But with
This one
all
right
of,
here?
but with
Okay.
all of those guys, they were all in the minors together, and then they finally came up, had a few years together, and then finally, put it together, and they just didn't have, because then after that they had them for a year or two more, and then obviously Hosmer took money in San Diego, and Moustakis had bounced around for a little bit. Now he's going to retire this year as a Royal. And I don't know if you guys saw Gordon's getting into the Royals Hall of Fame this year, and I think in June. So they're not. I don't think they're at the point anymore where they were like the Rockies or the Marlins. I think they're just they had to go young again, obviously, and then finally they're getting back to kind of where they hopefully will be able to be consistent back in the playoffs like they were in the mid 2010s.
Well,
No.
Patrick, you with the Blue Jays, I mean, you've had some stars coming up, but same thing. You've kind of dealt with the long-term futility of the
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah, I mean, we celebrate
That's really hard.
2015 winning the division title, and that's been the big thing, right? I mean, a couple of ALCS appearances, and losing to the Royals.
I was going to say,
losing
what
to-
happened in 2015?
Yeah, lost to you guys.
We don't
and
talk
you-
about 2015. Nope.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
What
We
happened
don't.
in 2015, Flobo? World Series? No? Okay.
Yeah,
Damn,
Flobo,
bro,
Flobo, I'm with you,
just-
my man. It's one that I wish to forget.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
Not me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Blue Jays missed a window. I mean, they've, I feel like there's been ambition to try to do things, but they've also shot themselves in the foot. I mean, there was the whole Otani thing, there was the Soto thing. I mean, that's impacted some of their players.
knowing
home
damn
with
well
Fly
they were
Jr..
never going to go there.
Look, I don't
Yeah.
want to make it political, but the money thing in Canada is a big deal. The tax
It is a
thing.
big deal. It is a big deal. I mean, and let's face it. I mean, the taxes are different.
You get taxed in
there's,
every city that you go play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll also say, like, people who are dog lovers, like, you can't have pit bulls in Toronto, in Ontario. Like, so people that have those, like, that was something that Mark Burley had to deal with when he was a Blue Jay. I mean, it sounds like such a small thing, but I mean, when you're talking about your lifestyle with your family, those are things that people take into account. I mean, and being away from family, some people don't want to move countries. I mean, it's a reality with what you deal with. And I also think that, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is the problem, Mrs. Influencer. But to answer your question, Ed, how do you feel about the Browns always sucking and the Guardians trying but falling short? The problem is, if I was to go ahead and just to see how it, put the Dolans as the ownership of the Browns and then the Haslam as the ownership of the Guardians, because the Haslam has proven that they'll just spend money on stupid things, I don't know, like a quarterback, and give, fully guarantee it. But anyways, I digress. And you put, them on with the Guardians, I wonder what they could do. And it still hurts. Honestly, my first love will always be baseball. It's just so frustrated. You get to the World Series in 2016, then you just fire sell everything and you suck for so many years, right? You bring Francona in and then they're good, not quite so good. You know what I mean? So it's just, and now the new manager, which Vogue, I like, but that one hurts more
See,
because
spending
it's
money
just,
is not always the solution either, because the Yankees have spent money. And I made this point on a previous show. We talked about the fact that, we went 15 years without even getting to a World Series. Mets, same way. I mean, they'll spend some money. They just don't always spend it the right way.
but you guys are relevant. You guys are actually, it shows that you guys are trying and then winning constantly in the playoffs, right?
But is spending money the right way, or I should say, is spending money trying, or is spending money just throwing it to stay relevant to make people think you're trying?
But at the very least, do something. Like you literally said, it's like literally the last season the Lindor was there, the ownership goes, just so you know, you better enjoy him while we have him. He literally said that on national TV.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, right there off the bat, it tells you they're not going to spend any money.
I think money matters, unfortunately. I understand that you have to win the games, because especially in 22, the Mets went 101 games and still got the leg swept. But I think the problem with, and I don't want to speak for Yankee fandom, is that if you grew up in the Steinbrenner, the senior Steinbrenner era, it really felt like this version of Steinbrenner was being a penny pincher to very, very recently. It was like, whoa, hey, these championships weren't coming. We're getting some good hands, but not really happening. And then the last 2 seasons, we're getting that now. But the Yankees have a different problem, and please shout me down if I'm wrong. It's a culture thing. I think most fans were kind of like, most players were like, I don't want to do this. It feels like a museum. It feels like a corporate job. It feels like it's too buttoned up, and like we're seeing so young talent just go elsewhere. So I'm with you. I think you got to put the money up there. You got to win the games. But when it's all said and done, chemistry matters. You look at what the Snakes did 2 seasons ago. You look at the runs the Brewers or even the Mets had last season. Like your team has to gel together.
Yeah. Well, and I've talked about that. I mean, these guys know I'm not like your typical Yankees fan. I'm a pretty
level-headed,
realistic Yankees fan when it comes to things. It's
not that many of them. Yeah, not that many of them.
I'm a Yankees fan that grew up in South Carolina, so I grew up a Don Mattingly fan. So I lived through all the years of them spending money. I mean, Senior George spending money just ridiculously stupid. But he tried.
Don't you miss him now?
To some extent, yes. But but then they went through that period where they that core four they grew the talent, and then they got away from it again. It's like because they traded a lot of that away with that success to keep the success going.
Donnie, you also remember the Yankees like pre-Gene Stick Michael, right? I mean, you remember those Yankees.
I mean, again, I said before when we talked about, with Val's conspiracy of, they want the Yankees and the Dodgers in the World Series. Well, apparently they didn't want the Yankees in the World Series for 15 years. And I also went through Don Mattingly's entire career without seeing him in a World Series. So it's not like the money paid off in a lot of ways over a lot of those years. That's 30 years that I didn't see them in doing anything. So, it's just, it's got to be spent.
Tell me how you really feel, though.
Well, but I think like you're saying, I think like you said, Steinbrenner Hal is somewhat of a penny pincher. I mean, Cashman's tried to do well with what he could work with. I think, but to Flobo's point, I think the culture is a thing too. I mean, you guys know I've talked about the fact that this whole Yankee, business-like thing. I hate the fact that every hat is just a navy blue with an NY on it. They have no creativity in any other logos or designs, no creativity in their uniforms. They don't do the City Connect. I mean, there's things that they need to get away from and like have some fun and quit acting like you're, freaking Wall Street business suit.
Because you're not.
There's no names on jersey. Tradition, man. No? Okay, I'm trolling you now. But thank you for saying this.
I love the no names on the jerseys.
What?
But
I'm paying $200 for a jersey. I gotta guess who I am. That sucks. A Scott Brocious, I swear.
Hey, no, I could go buy a 22 now, and it ain't no Soto on it. I ain't got to get Soto off of it.
Listen. There's some traditions that we're like, okay. But there's some traditions that we can get with. But then there's other traditions you're like, I'm out on this. Like the whole facial thing.
Got rid of the facial hair thing. I mean,
so stupid.
Like, come on. That's so antiquated.
It absolutely is. Bless you. It's so very antiquated. The whole it's just I didn't like it. Jazz Chisholm, though, I gotta hand it to him. Got to give him a little bit of credit because he came in with the Yankees and I'm like, oh no, we got to be this, and Chaz is like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do me, and good for him.
Yeah,
obviously he can't grow a beard, but
but if you could,
I like it.
But if you could.
Yeah, I like that Jazz is Jazz no matter where he is. I mean,
imagine how good he would have done with the Marlins. Oh,
I still think he's a talented player. I mean, you don't lose the talent he has overnight. I mean, it's just a different situation than Miami, and I think he's starting to. I expect him to have a good season. I really do. So,
yeah. This was definitely a very. We had some lively discussions. USC is blowing out San Diego about 30, but they don't belong. They should have never made it to the NCAA tournament. Okay, it should have been West Virginia. It was a miscarriage of
West Virginia doesn't have a coach.
Yeah, they lost their
I was
coach.
just about to say their coach cares so much he's on his way to Indiana.
Yep. So, the governor, I'm going to, like, shut up. Worry about something else. Who cares what you think? Your whole state is in shambles in education and everything else, but you want to care about your basketball team making it to the damn tournament?
Oh, come on. He had a PowerPoint.
Who cares?
So does Virgil.
If he put that much work into the actual state and work, help with education and hungerness in the state, maybe I would care. But I don't give two.
Are you from West Virginia?
No, but dude, it's still the same. It's like you're putting so much energy on something that is so irrelevant in all the whole scheme of things. It's irrelevant. DeSantis tried to do the same thing when Florida State got left out of the college football playoff. We're suing. No, shut up. Just shut up, please. Go away.
I mean, just wait till next year. There'll be 76 teams, and they'll be in there anyway. So.
Are you talking about
Ron
the
DeSantis?
NCAA tournament or the hate bracket?
I hate bracket.
A new hate
Put 'em on.
bracket.
Hey,
Yeah, I was
Ron
going to say,
DeSantis-
Flobo knows about the hate bracket. Yeah.
I want to be number 2 seed. I feel like I deserve it. I'm a young homegrown prospect. I've been hitting the gym.
There you go. You were saying, Flobo, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I was saying Ron DeSantis is the guy that made wrestling an essential business during COVID. Like, let's be real. Like, I like wrestling as much as the next guy, but why are we doing this?
That's what I'm saying. It's the dumbest things that people just are willing to die on a hell for. Like, just shut up. Just go away. Stop talking. But anyways,
Man.
I digress. This was a fun conversation today, boys and girls.
It was a great show.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Flo, for
and-
joining us and talking about your New York Metropolitans.
Yo, thank you so much for having me on. Let me ramble on. I got so many Copa identities I might go check out because
should.
Dad Hat's got me on to buying multiple hats that I need, more than I need. But no, it's been a lot of fun hanging with you guys.
does
It's always
that.
a pleasure being invited. So.
It's Donnie's fault. It's not my fault. I don't do any of that.
Yeah, it's nice. Flobo, where can people check out your stuff too, by the way?
Oh man, there's so many things to check it out. So I am a contributor over at the Black Baseball Mixtape. Learn more at blackbaseballmixtape.com. We're usually on Instagram Lives Mondays and Thursdays, but my personal sports comedy blog is called Just the Sandwich. New articles every week. Get that at justthesandwich.com.
I appreciate you. If you guys make sure you guys follow him, he got some good stuff. As always, I remember when I first brought you onto the podcast, man, which I gotta have you on, because I want to learn about cricket. I need you to teach me cricket.
Yeah, my parents love that game. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
I went to baseball. Yeah, I do cricket.
Flobo, your stuff's better than a John Cena heel turn.
You guys get nothing.
Yes, sir.
I have no idea, Eric. I have no
WrestleMania
idea.
season, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, get in the spirit. I mean, we're here for our guest. Come on. I mean, it's like our guest is here. I mean,
He's. I told you he just said that he's trying to earn his way to the Dad Hat tournament. So no.
well, I'm just helping. Well, I'm just helping him. I mean, if he's trying to get
me.
into the Dad Hate tournament, I'm helping him.
Half the panel here is wrestling fans. This is like a perfect mix right now.
Let's do it.
It is.
Oh, guys, thank you so much for coming. We'll see you guys again Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Join all of us. And what is the team that we're going to be, the division that we're looking at next? I did kind of tease it because I did move the slide.
AL Central.
And that is the American League Central. That is right. The best division there is in all of baseball.
Let's go, White Sox. Yeah.
Okay, we need to do this. Mr. Producer, yes.
Don't you guys want to talk about what you're doing on your podcast this week?
We did that on Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday, Ed.
I'm lost. Hey, what you guys are doing on your podcast?
Patrick,
Eric.
do what's on your show tomorrow?
What do you got coming up on the Hat History series, Patrick?
Oh,
He
what do I
doesn't.
have?
He doesn't know.
Donnie, do you
Yeah,
know what's
That
going on?
already has.
No, I said it's Ed. Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Speaking of heel turns,
Yeah, guys, I've been under the weather, so give me. Well, you're not going to give me a break, so
No,
I'll
we're
I'll
not
just own it.
here.
Yeah, no. This week on the Hat History series, we're going to the Northwoods League, and we're going to be talking about. We're going to Mankato, Minnesota, to talk about the Mankato Moondogs. So,
Yeah, for the longest time, I thought that was a travel team.
You what?
I thought that was a travel team for a while.
No, that was the because I was going to say that was the Mud Puppies.
the Mud Puppies. But yeah,
Anyways, yeah, because you'll learn how long Mankato's been around tomorrow if you check out the video. It'll be out tomorrow morning, so be sure to check out the Hat History series. All right.
there you go.
Well, thank you.
All right, when you check it out, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
That's right.
Eric, what's up?
So tomorrow on the Earn Fun Average podcast, Johnny and I head to Chattanooga, Tennessee to talk Chattanooga Lookouts with the senior ticket partner manager, Mr. Jara Vela Wright. You'll notice quickly that he's not from here, but it's a very good interview talking about the iconic brand of the Chattanooga Lookouts.
By the way,
What a
one of the most
great guest.
iconic logos in minor league of sports is the Chattanooga Lookouts.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Agreed.
100%.
That we lost. We're about to lose one. In North Carolina.
So we should look out for that episode tomorrow. Eric.
Hey, Donnie, what do you have
there
going
it
on
is.
this week?
I don't have a whole lot going on this week. I'm going to be working Thursday night, so I may be coming to you guys from the mobile studio on site on my work job site.
And I will not be here.
Oh,
Friday
great.
night,
This is off to a great start. This show,
I'm telling you.
as we're
night,
talking
real
about.
Real professional
and-
commitments to this show.
Right, and then we're also talking about his division that his favorite team is on, and he's not going to be here.
Exactly.
Yeah, Wichita's hosting the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament, so I will be at the tournament games Thursday.
Good for you. Riley is also hosting here, so we don't really care.
You should
So-
go.
Well,
And
I mean,
Ron
he's
and
always
I'll be
watching a
going
game. He's not
to,
here anyway. So.
Rhonda and I'll be going to the Ghost Pirates game on Friday night. in
Some
Savannah,
hockey.
Are you inviting Patrick?
No.
He's back in Georgia again. Outstanding. Okay.
Yeah, if you want to come down to Georgia, I went to the furthest part of Georgia I could get from you. But
Well, I'm already
it's
in
okay.
Georgia, but thank you for the invite. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. I'm actually in the state.
Well,
I'm actually
you-
in the state,
hey. just so these guys know, you were invited for something this past Sunday, and you bailed out, so we bailed out too.
yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't count if you bailed out too. So we're still.
Well,
we're
we
still
didn't
waiting
bail
for you
out.
to
We
invite
bailed
me to
out
something.
because you did.
Oh,
caused
we
us.
blaming
Is that why?
you.
Oh, okay.
This is called a
Okay.
promo.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
The two of you should
Let-
just have a
let me get the
podcast
mic
together
just
and
tell 'em
start.
it's-
I,
Don't
you
come
know
up
what,
with it
Ed?
together.
My senior
Hey,
promo.
Ed, maybe Patrick and I need to have like the South Carolina, Georgia thing on a radio station somewhere, maybe as DJs or something.
So 100%.
I wish there was a radio station we could actually have this
Hmm.
conversation on.
That's crazy because
Okay.
there is Corporate Media Radio Network. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
Coming to
Man.
you every Wednesday night, at 9 p.m., the Georgia South Carolina fight. I love it. Sounds like Patrick should be the
Man.
influencer. Wow. Oh, man. Oh, Lord. Anyways, listen, on the Dad Hat Chronicles
Yeah,
podcast, this week, Val and I, we finished our conversation. We had some good discussions around baseball. So, I tried to get Val, poke at some of the, come up with some of those crazy theories that she comes up with. But, she was good, man. She wasn't too off, but it was a good one. You guys should definitely listen to it.
Oh,
If you
I
want to
heard
watch
on the
it, it's
radio
on
station.
YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard some of that old content on the 24-hour radio station that you just.
That's right.
referenced, so.
24 hours, 7 days
Yeah.
a week. It's on for your listening pleasure. You want to go for a run?
And-
Corporate Media Radio. You want to work out
Yeah.
at the gym? Corporate Media Radio. I'm just saying, hey, listen, you are on a long drive. Not only are you going to be able to listen to Dad Hat Chronicles, you're also going to be listening to Baseball Bar Design. That guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a loser. And, right now, also, Minor League Nerd. His podcast is on there
Yeah.
as well. So and we're going to
Is
be
there-
updating it weekly. So there's going to be
Is there
more
going to be
content
some way
being
above
added.
average content being added to that as well, or
I don't know. Maybe not. If he
Eric,
decides to
what-
send it out.
Eric, way above average. That's you, right? That's
Way above average.
Way above
Expected
average?
earned front average.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he calls it Flobo. I don't know if you've ever heard me say this, but long story short, I feel like that the earned fund average has been a conspiracy, that they've been fooling America into thinking that they're actually way above average.
Cut him off.
Oh,